The 29th of January, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Okay, so
the Gemora now considers
we're up to
2b2.
the Gemara now answers.
We're not on 2b2, Alan. We're on 14b3.
What page? Oh,
14b3.
okay. Okay.
Okay, so
The Gemara investigates or more answers?
more answers. Vidi Iria.
All right, the Gemara answers. Lon Kashayov Modor. Actually, the Mishnah refers to a case where the debtor admits that the debt is still owed. More, and here in the case of a note that contains the lien provision, the reason for not returning the note to the creditor is the higher shinon shemor kor sav we will os nison, that we are apprehensive that perhaps the debtor drew up the note to borrow the money in the month of Nisan, so that Nisan is the date that appears in the note as the date of the loan. Below, Lavor, Aid, Tishrei, but he did not actually borrow the money until 6 months later in the month of Tishrei. The next page. Say Raf Kos Shalo Kanin has been awarded custody of the note on the strength of the debtor's admission will come to unlawfully seize the ostensibly mortgage property from its purchase.
Okay, we got a Rashi over here. Isa. Isa is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines, 7 wide lines from the bottom of the wide lines of Rashi.
Kedisa Kule. Resha Bit Nigzal V'Seifa B'Bal Chov Ule Kamai motive lo la miresha. Oh, the resha, the first part is with a thief, and the second part is with a creditor, and further on, I don't know what motive is.
Motive is they're going to challenge, make a challenge, like an esvei.
They're going to challenge what's in the resha?
They're going to challenge to it, meaning the Seifa, from the Resha.
From the Resha.
Okay, so in other words, at the end of the day, at least if this is the end of the day, I don't know. Looks like we're going to keep going over here. But at least so far we could say that the Gemora has defended Shmuel. Remember, Shmuel was the one who said that in case of the Goslin stole property and sold it to a purchaser. Shmuel said that even though the purchaser can recover the purchase price he can recover the purchase price, perhaps even from property that the Goslin sold to somebody else, even if there was no longer hands in the hand of the Goslin. But the point was that the improvements that he made on the property, that the owner of the property took away from him, he's not going to be able to get them at all. Not from property that the Goslin sold to somebody, and not even from property that the Goslin himself has still in his own possession. And that was so it shouldn't look like the Sachar Ma'osov Omid Benotel, that when he's getting back the purchase price, which is really looks like a loan being paid back, he's also getting other things as well. So he's getting sachar, he's getting profit from the fact that he gave his money to somebody else. So the Gemora has defended Shmuel from this Mishnah. The Mishnah doesn't represent the refutation of Shmuel, and that's where we are right now. So we'll see what the Gemora is going to say further. Looks like the Gemora is continuing with the same subject, though. So we might see from another place the Gemora is going to attempt to ask on Shmuel. So now we go to V'halo Tani Hachi. And we go to Lu to read.
The next Rashi?
No, the Gemora.
Back in okay. Let me see if I can know. Ha lo tane hani. Ha hachi. Excuse me. But it was not so taught in a brisa. The Shevach Kar Kaos say Ketzad. What is the case of compensation for improvement of the land? Hare she gazel sadeh me chavero. If one stole a field from his fellow, v'harei he yotzah mitachas yado, and it now leaves his possession, bishehu kishehu gova, when he collects compensation for his loss, gova es hakeren mina chasim mishubadim. He collects for the principal from the encumbered properties. Ushfach gova mina chasim b'nei chorid, and he collects for the improvements from the properties free of encumbrance. I don't get that at all. He's collecting from different properties for one property?
Okay, first, what we have to do is make very clear to ourselves what happened over here and what's the case, in other words, and number one, and number two, to clarify what's the din that the Brisa is telling us about that case that it is talking about. The Brisa doesn't tell us at all what the case is. We got to figure that out ourselves. It just starts right in and says, as far as Sheva Karkos is concerned, this is the din. But what's the case that we're talking about? And so it looks like it's the case that that Shmuel was talking about. You have a Goslin. The Brisa mentions a Goslin. He guzzled the property from the owner, and then it says that it was Yotze mitachas yado. It went out from the hand of the Goslin. Unless that means it went out from the hand of the. And when the Gemora says "Holo Tani Hachi," we did not learn like that. What's it saying? It's saying that we have a brisa. The Gemora is bringing a brisa right now, and this brisa is going on the Mishnah that we've been discussing. This Mishnah that we thought was a refutation of Shmuel about the Chilus Peros and the Sheva Karka and the Muslim of Isho Bonos. That Mishnah, here we got a brisa that's discussing it. Okay, so what is the brisa saying over here? What's the case that we're talking about? Just starts off talking about the Sheva Karkos. Okay, maybe Rashi fills us in? Is it possible that Rashi fills us in? Let's take a look at Rashi over here. Maybe Rashi will help us out. The first Rashi that we want to look at is Rashi Dibra Maskel Vaha Lo Tani Hachi, which is looks like 6 lines from the bottom of the wide lines, bottom of the page.
What do you want to start at? Which one?
Rashi Dibra Maskel Vaha Lo Tani Hachi.
Okay, Vaha Lo Tani Hachi, and behold, it's not what we taught. What the Tana taught. I have my place here. There it is. In a brisa on it. The hach, that this, the ein motzian, that he doesn't take. He's not motzi. The tekuma about chov in the establishment of the creditor.
Oh. Right. So, right, we're talking now about the Mishnah that we've been talking about for some time, and this Mishnah This was the Esvei Rava Rav Nachman, which was like a little bit above the middle of the page in the Gemora. The first word in the line was Esvei Rava Rav Nachman, and Rav is now going to ask a kasha from this Mishnah. Now the Mishnah said a din of ein motzin lechilas peros and sheva karkos from nechasim mishubadim, and so now the Gemara is saying, meaning that when the guy comes to collect for his loss, and we're going to identify who this guy is. Is he the true owner of the field, or is he just a creditor? That's the issue over here. So it says that he doesn't take sheva karkos from nechasim mishubadim, but we were medayik. Oh, so from nechasim mishubadim he doesn't take, but he would take from bnei chorin, which that would be a refutation of Shmuel if the Mishnah was talking about a case of a gazlan and a nigzal, as opposed to a case of a malva and a lova. So up until now, we pushed off the kasha on Shmuel by saying, oh, that Mishnah, it's talking about Sheva Karkos, is talking, not talking about Chov, it's talking about I'm sorry. The kasha was my lab that is talking about Gazal and Nigzal. The Gemara concluded and said, no, we're going to say that it's talking about a Baal Chov and therefore it's not a kasha on Shmuel. Okay, so now the Gemara is saying, wait a second, you can't say that that's what the Mishnah is talking about, because we got a brisa. Rashi says that this brisa is intended to be a clarification and an explanation of this Mishnah, and it says in that Mishnah, it says in that brisa that what? It says not like the way you wanted to say. You ein motzin the tukma that says you can't take out sheva karko, that you explained that it was talking about a Baal Chov. You'll see in the brisa seems to be saying that it was not talking about a Baal Chov, it's talking about a Gazlan and a Nigzal. That's what Rashi's saying over here. Because we see that the brisa says, L'sheva karkos ketzad, harei shegozal soda mechavero. What's the case of sheva karkos that the Mishnah is talking about? The brisa is explaining, it's talking about a case of a Gazlan, that he gazeled a field from his friend, and da-da-da-da. So you see, it's talking about a case of a Gazlan. It's not talking about a case of an ordinary creditor. Okay. So that's what Rashi told us so far. And I think we got to go further in the Rashi. V'harei hiyotze mitakas yado. That'll be the next Rashi. Those are the next few words in the brisa. Rashi's going to help us out over here, looks like. Let's read the Rashi.
Okay.
Louis, you want to read the Rashi?
Okay. What's the Dibur Moscow?
The hurry he. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines up the last 2 words.
V'halotani haki?
I did that one. The one after that.
After
the
that.
hurry he.
The hare he yotza mitachas yado. He goes out from under his hand. Shebes din motziin osa miyado. Beis din rescues him from his hand.
It's not, the Beis Din took it out from his hand, meaning from his control. Meaning, the Brisa says, Ketzad, what's the case over here that we're talking about? Haresha Gozal Soda B'Chavero. I'm reading from the words of the Gemora, from this Brisa. And then it says, Hare, hu yotzet mitachas yodo. So we didn't know exactly what that was referring to. So Rashi's helping us out over here. So we have to say thank you to Rashi. Rashi says what this is referring to is that we're talking about that the Bezdin took it out from his control, meaning from the control of the Goslin, who guzzled it away from the rightful owner. I think so. Shebezdin motzian oso v'yado. Oh, so if so, now the next phrase of the Bryce is going to become difficult. Kishehu goive. So who's collecting? I'll just read that Rashi myself. Kishehu goive lakamai meforish lo. Says Rashi, don't get hung up on this right now. We're going to explain this soon. So just sit tight. Okay. We got no choice. We're going to have to sit tight. So whoever it is that's collecting over here in the Brisa, it says Gova esa Karen. Gova esa Karen minachasim mishubodim. See, I'll tell you the truth. I don't understand what he's collecting over here. If the Bezdin took it away from the Goslin, so presumably the Bezdin would give it back to the rightful party, the rightful owner. They're not taking it for themselves. So if so then they gave it back to the rightful owner. If so then I'm just thinking maybe what it means is that the guy that the Goslin did sell it. This is all guesswork because Rashi doesn't tell us, and I don't know. I'm guessing that what happened over here is that the Goslin did sell it to somebody. He sold it to a purchaser, and then the Bezdin came along and took it away from the purchaser. It doesn't say that, but I don't know why there would be anybody that was coming to collect anything otherwise. If you learn like the way I'm saying, so then the one who's coming to collect is the purchaser who purchased it from the Goslin. And now when he comes to collect, meaning he comes to collect for the fact that the Goslin sold him property that was stolen, and he charged him $1 million for it, and he paid him $1 million, and now he doesn't have his $1 million, so he's got to collect that from the Goslin. So when he does so, the Brisa says, Goives a Karen, he collects the purchase price for the land. Minachasim mishubadim. He could even collect that $1 million from a property that the Goslin, who did own that property, sold it to a third party, somebody else, some other purchaser. So that he could collect even from Nachasim mishubadim. But then it says v'shevach goiva minachasim b'nei chorin. But if he wants to collect the shevach, meaning the improved value that his hard work and effort and investment made in the property, that he will not be able to collect that from a third-party purchaser from the Goslin. He'll have to collect that. He will be able to collect it, but he'll collect it only from the Goslin himself. Oh, so now, now the Gemora says, "Hey, Chidami." Maybe the Gemora is going to actually flesh in the details of this brisa over here. What exactly happened in this brisa? We didn't need to get so agitated because we don't know what's going on. We just had to be patient, and the Gemora is going to tell us. Hey, Chidami, what's the case over here that the brisa is telling us this din over here? And with that, we can go to Alan.
Okay. What page are we on now? Remember, I wasn't here for 2 days.
14b. Somebody want to tell Alan where we're holding?
14b3.
Oh,
Left column, the bottom, the Gemara explains.
I'm getting there. Okay. What side of the page?
Left side, bottom, the Gemara explains.
Gemara explains. Heishi Dormi. Now, what is the case? Ilemor Kidator Soni. If you say that the case is precisely as recorded in the Brisa, and the robber did not sell the stolen property, Gaslon mi may non agove, from whom should the robber collect compensation for the return of the stolen property? He never paid for it, and he loses nothing by its return. Ella, rather, lav kagon shenodal sodeh may vivero. Is it now referring to a case in which, for example, one stole a field from his fellow? Uma choror la'achar lacher lehish bihor, and sold to another who improved it. Although the field was stolen, the purchaser may claim compensation from the seller for improvements confiscated by the rightful owner. This contradicts Rav Nachman's ruling that a purchaser is not compensated by the seller for his improvements to stolen property.
Okay, you see what the Gemara is saying over here? This was exactly my problem. And the Gemara is solving the mystery over here. If you say that you're just going to read the Brisa on face value, we're going to say that you're going to say that what happened over here, that the Goslin guzzled the property from the rightful owner, but it doesn't say anywhere that he sold it to anybody. But and that's what Rashi actually even said, that the Bezdin took it away from the Goslin himself. If you're going to say like that, so then I had the question. The Gemara says that's the question. Goslin miman gave. Why would the Goslin need to collect from anybody? He's not going to. He doesn't have any right to collect because the property that he stole, the Bezdin took away from him. He doesn't have a complaint. So Elalav, therefore, says the Gemara, we got to flesh in some details that the Brisa didn't tell us at all. What do we got to say? Lav kegon shegazal sada. Don't we have to say like this, that after he stole the field, mechavero umachra la'acher, he sold it to a purchaser. That's what we got to say, because we're trying to create a case where we can understand what the Brisa means when it says, when he comes to collect for his loss. Who's he that comes to collect for his loss? So the Gemara says, we got to be saying that the Goslin sold to a hapless third-party purchaser who didn't realize that he was buying stolen property, obviously, and it could be he even paid a pretty penny for it, and then the rightful owner comes along, and he rightfully takes away his property that he owns from this hapless third-party purchaser. And so now we got a case where this hapless purchaser is now going to come and collect for his loss because he paid $1 million for this property. It got taken away from him. He's got a complaint. He's going to come to collect. Oh, and furthermore, the Gemora says that since we're talking in the Mishnah that the Bryce is explaining about Sheva Karkos, about property that was improved, we got to say, furthermore, that this purchaser who purchased the property from the Goslin made improvements in the property. He invested time and effort and money in improving the value of the property. So now the property has a greater value than it did at the time that he purchased it. And the true owner came along and he took everything. He took the property. He took the improvements. Apparently, it seems that he didn't pay for anything. He just took it. And so now this hapless purchaser is out $1 million. And then he's also out $500,000 for improvements that he made. So that's the case that we're saying that he's coming to collect. Now, that's good. Now we got some Rashis to read. Rashi will hopefully tell us what I said and more. Because if he doesn't tell us what I said, then we're in big trouble. Okay. So Phil.
Okay, then let me see where we're up to in the Rashis. I don't remember that. Okay. Run that line.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the bottom, towards the end of the line.
Well, not many words to answer that Rashi though. Elena Katami. Let's say it was taught. Shalom Machra Gazlan, that it wasn't sold by the thief, Umayado, and from his hand, he Yotzei Bedin was taken away by the court, so to speak.
Right. Bedin, properly, according to the halacha, because the Goslin doesn't own property, so we took it away from him. So if so, then it follows right into the next section of the Bryce, which Rashi explains.
Is the Goslin, the man, and the thief, Miman, Gabi, where does he collect it, so to speak? That's Gabi, right?
Right, where to collect, right?
Collect from. Miman, from the one, Yeshu, who has, go to collect. V'chi me Yitamen, who will give it to him. From
who, right? We're going on the words of the Brisa. The Brisa says, Kishahu Goiva. And the implication is that the one that the property was taken away from, now he comes to collect. What do you mean he comes to collect? If we're talking about a Goslin who didn't sell the property and the Bezdin came and took it away from him because he doesn't own it, he's the Goslin. He's not coming to collect from anybody. Who should he collect from, says Rashi? Is there something that he gave to somebody that he's got to collect for the loss that property was taken away from that he gozzled? Obviously not. Okay. So, Phil.
Yep.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Why, there's another Rashi after that too? I don't know.
Yeah. Rashi's taking us by the hand. Yeah. We have to thank Rashi.
Well, the next one, the Hashvicha, which is the improvements.
Right.
About improvements, the Hari He Bedin This one in the courts, Yotzei takes it mitach from his hand, shel lokeh the purchaser. We see Islay shev that there is shevcha to the purchaser mi gazlan from the thief. Like transferring it.
Okay. Yeah, so Rashi's saying over here that in regard to the improvements, the guy made $500,000 of improvements on the land, and now the true owner takes the land with the improvements away from the purchaser. And Rashi says, yeah, you see here from the Brisa that he did so bidin. He's entitled to do that. Bidin yotzim mitachas yadu shalokeach. That was according to the din, that the true owner took away not only the actual property, but also the property with the improvements, and he didn't reimburse him a kihuzeh for the improvements that he made. He just took it, everything. That's what Rashi's saying over here. And then, oh yeah, you got another few words to read now, Phil. Sorry, from Alma.
So the Alma, no, there's no Alma there.
Alma in the middle of this Rashi, Hashpicha.
Yeah, no, Alma, we said that. Islay Shvicha, that there is improvements.
Alma Islay Shivcha Lolokeach Mikazan. Oh, okay, you already read that? Okay.
It goes from the purchaser to the thief.
Okay, right, very good. So we see over here, in other words, says Rashi, that there is shavach that's owed to the lokeach from who? From the Gazlan. From the Gazlan. That's what Rashi explained so far. And now now we go back to the Gemora. The Gemora says Elalav.
Okay, so it's basically time now, so I'll have to pick that up.
Oh, it's time. Okay. We're making progress over here. Baruch Hashem.
Good. Okay. Take care.
Okay. See everybody tomorrow. Bez Hashem. Shkoyach.
Lou, what time?
Have a great day.
10 to 4? Lou? 10 to 4?